Okay, I think we're recording finally. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just shut it off? No, no, we're going. Shows you what a professional videographer I am. Okay, Dave Burns here, Copper Gardens, working on a sheet of copper going into a fountain down in Alamo. This will be public viewing, so I won't mention the spot precisely. You know who you are. I know you know who you are. What I'm showing you today is how we're processing a couple of sheets of copper to get the width that we want. It comes in 36-inch widths, and we're going to try to get it out to 42. We're not going to try. We're going to get it out to 42, probably a little in excess. I want to be able to hide the framework behind it and a few other things. We'll talk about that. Right now, the purpose is just to show you what it takes to do what I'm doing. The machine is a peculiar old duck. People refer to me the same way. It is called a Vibro-Shear. However, actually, that's a knockoff from Japan in 1953. The original version of these machines were designed and made in Sweden, I understand. Perhaps in the 30s. Don't quote me on that, but it's a really old device made with a little hammer mechanism that's going to go up and down right here, only 40 thousandths. It's going to move a very little bit. It's going to give us this texture that we're looking for to give the water streaking down the face of this thing a lot of sparkle and a lot more interest value than just a flat sheet. Excuse my hand, you don't need that in the picture. This thing, quite a powerful small machine. I say small, it may look large to somebody that's never seen one. However, of all the Vibro-Shears, and the technical original name was PulMax, P-U-L-M-A-X. This would be the baby. They get up to where they would dwarf this piece. Manhandled by bigger, stronger, younger men than I, and primarily used to put in stiffening ribs in a flat sheet for aircraft, automotive, a variety of other purposes before we had the kinds of machines that we have today. The reason that artisans love it is that we get to modify the machines and do what we want, and allows us to do this squiggly wiggly stuff. That's a technical term. By allowing us to steer it. Normally it would have a track that would run a sheet straight through for a stiffening rib. It also has a variety of hammer heads. We can even do louvers and cutting and a variety of other things. And the thing I did to it was to modify and add this device that allows me to start, stop, turn, do other more interesting details. When I bought the machine, it had a single lever over center. It was either on or off, which really limited my ability to do what I'm doing right now. So that changed the world rather dramatically for me. And I was fortunate that my first design of this thing actually worked. I hit it a little bit from getting fingers stuck in it with an ugly screen, but it works. That's almost enough about the machine. I don't think there's much more to tell you. I can do fairly easily up to about midpoint, and then I'm going to turn it around, and thanks to the variety that we're looking for anyway, you're not going to see a seam. Hopefully you won't have any idea that I did what I'm about to do, but this is just for the fun of showing you what it takes. It's physically amazingly demanding, especially for this old duck. Thankfully I'm a little older than the machine, so I think I'm a tiny bit smarter than it, except that it can go all day and I can't. Okay, I'm going to set you on a tripod here. I'm going to suit up, which means, yeah, it looks like that's about as close as we're going to get to a decent shot. It means a set of headphones because it's really loud, some gloves, and I will only do this for a couple of minutes because there's no mystery. Once you see it operation, you can just rerun it all day long and see exactly what I'm doing all day long. But once you see this, you'll get a little flavor for what we do here, and I hope that's kind of fun for you. We'll see. Let's go. as I say, it gets a little tedious and a little boring, and I put a lot of physical effort into it because, as you can imagine, when the hammer's down, it's locked the sheet. It's not moving. I can't predict that, nor can I move that fast, so I've just got to be pressing and straining and pushing all the time and making random decisions on what kind of a look I want. Now that you've seen a little bit of that, look back down at the sheet of it, from the face of it, and you can see what I've been able to do. Now, purposely I left a little void here. We'll call it a negative space for now. Another one here, maybe a little tiny one there. And that allows me to go back in later. I'll put it on my big table in the other room and do a little different kind of a texturing in those spaces. In some cases, I'll do an actual knot hole, to spin the sheet around and do a knot hole, but I'm afraid that with a water feature, we might actually be tripping water off and spraying out in places we may not want it to go. Okay, I don't see any reason to bore you with any more. Believe me, before this is over, I'll probably have bored you to tears. So let's call that a day for now, and I'll send this off and we'll talk to you soon.